He's in bad shape.
Yeah.
He is 78 years old. He's suffering from diabetes. He also has a thyroid problem as well.
That is correct.
And you're very concerned for the health of your father because he's not getting medication.
That is true. They stopped allowing him access to his medication on February 11th, I believe, or 18th.
I know it's very upsetting because you haven't seen him for a while either, because you live in exile yourself.
Yeah.
You can't go back to Damascus, not back to Syria.
Exactly.
How long ago has it been since you saw your father?
The last time I saw him was in 2003, December 2003 is when he visited me in Dallas, Texas. And when he returned to Syria, his passport was taken away and he has not been allowed to travel since.
So they knew that he had gone and left the country.
Yeah.
When he came back, they made sure then that he wouldn't have that opportunity.
Yeah. While he was outside, he was invited to speak at the German parliament on the human rights situation in Syria. And that was the reason, I think, for not allowing him travel since then.
And I know it's terribly tough to hear this, Iyas, but I've seen it written that people believe that your father is being subjected to a slow death because he is being denied this medication and he desperately needs this medication.
Exactly, yeah.
Why does the Syrian regime want to do that? Is it because they want to send a signal out to the rest of the world that, you know, don't interfere in our affairs, and this is what happens to you if you do? Exactly,
and to scare people in Syria, you know, this is what happened to you if you speak up against what the government is doing. It's a harsh message that they want to silence everybody with it. And they chose a figure such as my father, who is considered the father of human rights movement in Syria, to, you know, use him for that.
As an example, I know it is terribly upsetting for you. He's in a cell in Damascus.
Yeah.
With some 60 other people in a very small cell.
Exactly. This prison is this Damascus Central Prison, and it holds criminals, murderers, rapists, thieves, all kind of criminals. And people like Muhammad al-Hassani and my father are segregated in that prison, so they are put in different cells, so they cannot communicate with each other. But in each cell they are being put, you know, it holds about 60 other criminals who, you know, could attack even those prisoners who either physically or with other accusations, like in the case of my father, which happened also to others. One of the prisoners there accused my father of slander to the president. So while he was in prison, they added another charge to the charges, and he was sent to another trial for that specific charge. Later on, there was a presidential pardon that included several crimes. One of them, it covered that crime of that was my father accused with, and that charge was dropped.
He was later accused, I think, of conveying false news within Syria.
Yes, that's the original.
Could debilitate the morale of the nation.
That is correct. That's the original charge when he was arrested. They've added since then, like I said, a slander to the president, but then it was dropped.
That was retracted.
So right now, the only one he is facing is the spreading false news that could weaken the national morale.
And how long has it been since you actually spoke to your father?
The last time I spoke to my father was about 2 or 3 days before he was arrested.
So you haven't spoken to him since he was in detention?
No.
So how are you finding out about the conditions under which he's having to live now in that prison?
I basically communicate with lawyers and others in Syria who have first-hand knowledge of the prison conditions, and
This is what they're telling me.
This is what I'm told.
But I don't think your father has had access either to a proper legal system, to a proper defence team.
No, unfortunately, he has not been able to meet in private with his lawyers. There is a lawyer defence team that is basically, I think it's 10 or 12 lawyers who are set up for defending him. Unfortunately, none of them have been able to meet with my father in private to prepare for his defence.